Officer Buckle and Gloria by Peggy Rathman. This used to be my favorite book when I was in school. This book. They have a little badges. So say no to drugs. Wash your hands after you use the toilet. Never put anything in your ear. Never accept rides from strangers. Obey all traffic signs. Never sit too close to the television. Never eat mayonnaise that's been sitting in the sun. Yuck. Never play in the microwave oven. Never tilt your chair back on two legs. Never take other people's medicines. Never play with spray cans. Never play with matches. Always pull the toothpick out of your sandwich. Never bother a big dog while it's eating. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Natville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77. Never stand on a swivel chair. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with students at Natville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes they were snoring. Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. Then one day, Natville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give a safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting in detention. She was. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. Look at what Gloria's doing. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on the audience ward. Look at Gloria. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expressions. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from students at Natville School. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawing showed a lot of imagination. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend, Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips. And please bring along that police dog. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. Then one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in State College auditorium. When he finished safety tip number 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms. The students jumped to their feet and applauded. Bravo, bravo, they cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. Look, Gloria, finally saw what Gloria was doing and why he was so popular, huh? The next day, the principal of Knappville School telephoned the police station. "Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech." Officer Buckle frowned. "I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway." "Oh," Miss Topple said. "Well, how about Gloria? Could she come?" Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. After Gloria left, Knappville School had its biggest accident ever. Oh no. It all started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat, splatter, swoosh. Everyone slid smack into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of a hammer. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, "Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet." Safety tip number 7. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip ever. Safety tip number 101. Always stick with your buddy. There's more. Never fly kites near power lines. Never take other people's medicines. Never play loud music into headphones. Never eat raw hamburger. Look both ways before you cross the street. Never give information over the phone to strangers. Check how deep the water is before you dive. Never leave a bar of soap where someone might step on it. Never play alone in the car. Stay away from guns. Stay away from cigarettes. Keep shoes and a flashlight under your bed. Never put anything in your nose. And always buckle your seatbelt.